The entertainment world is buzzing, and you won't believe what just dropped. Yandy, never one to hold back, has just claimed that Rasheeda, Kirk, and Jasmine are involved in a secret three-way relationship, and the internet has erupted. Fans are shocked, rumors are flying, and emotions are running higher than ever. Imagine the headlines: Rasheeda, Kirk, and Jasmine, the love triangle no one saw coming. For years, viewers have followed Kirk and Rasheeda's ups and downs on Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta, witnessing marriages tested, trust broken, and alliances shaken. But now, this new claim throws everything into chaos. People are asking, could it really be true? Or is this just another sensational twist designed to keep cameras rolling? The family was left divided as whispers began to spread, and close friends started weighing in, some backing the claim, while others are adamantly denying it. The tension is palpable, and the drama feels almost unbearable. Social media has exploded with hashtags, trending debates, and heated fan theories, all dissecting every past interaction between the three. Emotions ran high as insiders revealed private texts, and social media screenshots only added fuel to the fire. You can almost feel the stares, the whispered secrets, and the heartbreak looming over everyone involved. This isn't just another reality show rumor, this is a full-blown, explosive scenario that could change everything fans thought they knew about Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine. The suspense is killing everyone. What really went on behind closed doors? Was there deception, betrayal, or is this an elaborate misunderstanding waiting to unravel? Stick around, because the truth, or at least the juiciest version of it, is about to unfold, and it's more shocking than anything you've ever imagined. The stage is set, the players are revealed, and the drama has just begun. The drama began quietly, almost imperceptibly, in the corners of social media where whispers and cryptic posts often foreshadow reality TV chaos. Fans had always speculated about the dynamics between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine. But no one could have predicted the storm that Yandy's claim would unleash. It started with a single post, a subtle hint dropped in one of her live streams that seemed innocuous at first. But the implications were earth-shattering. Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and some connections are closer than anyone thinks. The comment ignited the rumor mill immediately. Within minutes, fans were dissecting every past interaction, replaying old scenes from Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta, analyzing every look, every handshake, every laugh shared between the trio. The speculations spread like wildfire. In private chats, messages began circulating, some claiming insider knowledge, others simply spreading gossip, but all feeding the frenzy. Rasheeda, who had always maintained a fiercely private persona when it came to her marriage, found herself suddenly at the center of a storm she hadn't anticipated. Her close friends were in a frenzy, calling her in disbelief, demanding explanations. Yet she remained tight-lipped, her emotions simmering just beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Kirk, known for his brash confidence and unfiltered personality, was caught off guard by the accusations. He had faced rumors before, but the thought of a secret three-way relationship involving Jasmine, someone so unexpectedly intertwined in their lives, left him visibly shaken. In private conversations with family members, Kirk's usual bravado gave way to a rare vulnerability. "I swear, I don't know how this got started," he admitted, pacing the room, his phone clutched tightly in his hand. "But people are taking things way out of context. Rasheeda and Jasmine's a friend. That's it." Why would anyone even think? His words trailed off as another notification buzzed, and the tension in the air thickened. Fans online were relentless. Memes, screenshots, and speculative videos were flooding every platform, each one building the narrative that Yandy had claimed. The internet became a virtual courtroom, dissecting motives, questioning loyalty, and casting judgment. With a speed and intensity that only reality TV could ignite, emotions ran high, not just among the fans, but among the family members who found themselves caught between protecting their loved ones and facing the reality that the public was watching their every move. Kirk's mother called in, her voice trembling with concern, warning him that the scrutiny could spiral out of control. "You have to handle this carefully," she urged. "People are twisting everything, and if you're not careful, it could ruin more than just your reputation." Rasheeda, on the other hand, grappled with an internal storm. The betrayal she felt wasn't just about the supposed relationship, but about trust in the network of friends, in her family, in the very public eye that had turned her life into a spectacle. Arguments erupted behind closed doors, heated exchanges that no camera had captured but that friends would later recount in whispers. each word dripping with tension and raw emotion. "I can't believe people are saying this about us," Rasheeda snapped at Kirk during one particularly intense confrontation. "And I can't believe Yandy even suggested it. After everything, how could she?" Her voice cracked, the weight of humiliation and disbelief evident. Kirk tried to reach for understanding, his own defenses rising as emotions collided. "Ras, you know it's not true," he pleaded. "But people love drama. That's all this is." Yandy said it, and suddenly it's a headline. It doesn't make it real. Jasmine, caught in the middle, was perhaps the most conflicted. Her private life had never been this scrutinized, and being implicated in a narrative that suggested intimacy and betrayal threatened to upend her carefully curated persona. She tried to respond calmly to friends and family, but her statements often came off as defensive, leaving more questions than answers. "I'm just as shocked as everyone else," she said in one message to a mutual friend. "I don't know why Yandy would even think that. Or say it. I have no part in whatever people are imagining." But the fans were relentless. Every social media story, every picture, every cryptic post was analyzed under the microscope of suspicion. The tension escalated further when a leaked screenshot surfaced, allegedly showing a group chat between the three of them. The messages appeared intimate, friendly, yet the timing and tone were manipulated, or at least interpreted, in a way that seemed to support the narrative Yandy had suggested. Outrage, confusion, and disbelief collided in a digital storm. Friends of the trio tried to mediate, urging calm and rationality, but even well-intentioned interventions added fuel to the fire. "People are reading into everything," one friend said, exasperated. "They're turning friendship into scandal, and it's going to blow up even more if we don't handle it." Behind the scenes, cameras captured moments of tension, even if they weren't intended for broadcast. Arguments erupted over dinner tables, private phone calls grew heated, and the family's cohesion began to show cracks. Yet amid the chaos, there were moments of vulnerability, fleeting glances that revealed genuine hurt and confusion. Kirk's frustration boiled over during a particularly intense discussion with Rasheeda, the room charged with emotion. "Do you understand what this does to us?" he demanded. "Everywhere we go, everyone's looking, judging. And it's based on one person's claim. One statement, and suddenly it's our lives on display." Rasheeda's eyes filled with tears, the raw weight of public scrutiny pressing down on her. "I know, Kirk. I know, but it's not just about us. It's about how everyone around us is reacting. Friends, family, fans. They're all tangled in this now." Jasmine, overhearing part of the exchange, struggled to find her voice. "I'm being painted as something I'm not," she admitted quietly, almost to herself. "And I don't even know how to defend against it without making it worse." The drama intensified as more insiders began to come forward with stories that seemed to confirm or, at least embellish the narrative. Some claimed they had seen secret meetings, others swore they had overheard intimate conversations. Each new claim added layers to the intrigue, making it nearly impossible for fans. Two separate facts from fiction. Social media influencers and bloggers jumped in, dissecting every possible scenario, creating videos with dramatic music and slow-motion clips, framing the narrative as though it were an unfolding thriller. The frenzy reached a peak when a supposed confessional leaked, allegedly showing Kirk discussing the relationship in a candid moment. In the clip, he appeared hesitant, words carefully chosen, eyes darting as if measuring every reaction. "It's complicated," he said, his tone heavy with implication, yet nothing definitive. Fans exploded with speculation. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's loyal supporters rallied behind her, flooding social media with messages of support and defending her honor. "She's been through so much, and now this." One fan wrote. "Stop trying to twist her life into a storyline." Arguments between fans of different sides erupted, adding another layer of chaos. Yandy's claim is obviously true. One camp insisted. "Look at the evidence. Look at the evidence." Another countered. "It's all fabricated. Can't you see it's meant to stir drama?" The family itself struggled to navigate the turmoil. Relatives who had once enjoyed casual gatherings now found themselves walking on eggshells, carefully moderating conversations to avoid explosive reactions. The atmosphere was thick with tension, every glance, every gesture analyzed and misinterpreted. Kirk and Rasheeda found themselves needing to attend urgent meetings with publicists, advisors, and close friends to strategize on how to manage the fallout. Every step was calculated, every word measured, Yet the public's curiosity only seemed to grow. As the hours passed, the trio attempted to regain control over the narrative. Private statements were drafted, some released anonymously, others shared selectively with trusted allies. The messages were a mix of denial, explanation, and emotional appeal. But the more they tried to clarify, the more fans questioned, dissected, and debated. Why now, they asked. Why did Yandy say it? What's the motive? The questions swirled endlessly. Just when it seemed the storm might settle, yet another twist emerged. A video surfaced, allegedly showing a private dinner involving the three. Their interactions captured in ways that fans interpreted as intimate. The clip was short, ambiguous, but combined with the existing speculation, it sent social media into a frenzy once more. Discussions ran wild. Debates continued into the night, and the family was left divided, emotions running high. Every new piece of content adding fuel to the inferno. Behind the scenes, the personal stakes became clear. Trust had been fractured, relationships tested, and reputations put on the line. Every phone call, every text, every public appearance carried the weight of scrutiny. And through it all, the emotional toll was immense. Rasheeda grappled with feelings of betrayal and hurt, Kirk wrestled with anger and frustration, and Jasmine struggled with confusion and fear. Friends and family tried to offer solace, but even well-intentioned advice sometimes escalated tensions. The unfolding drama was a masterclass in the unpredictability of reality TV life, where one statement could ignite a wildfire, and the consequences extended far beyond the original claim. Fans, insiders, and the family itself were all caught in the crossfire, with emotions running hotter than ever, and the truth, whatever it may be, buried beneath layers of speculation, interpretation, and raw human feeling. By the end of the first wave, it was clear that this was not a fleeting story. It had the power to reshape perceptions, redefine relationships, and set the stage for an even more explosive series of events yet to come. The tension was palpable, the stakes sky high, and the next chapter in this saga promised to be even more dramatic than the first. The storm showed no signs of letting up as the days progressed, and the tension surrounding Yandy's claim escalated to a fever pitch. Every interaction between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine was scrutinized by millions, with fans dissecting gestures, tone, and timing as though they were expert detectives. Rumors spread like wildfire, fueled by every social media post, every interview, and every cryptic comment dropped by those close to the trio. Kirk, usually unflappable in the face of public scrutiny, found himself struggling to maintain composure. At a private gathering with close friends, emotions ran high. "I don't even know what's real anymore," he exclaimed, his voice tight with frustration. "Everything I say is twisted. Everything I do is questioned. It's like living under a microscope that's only focused on drama." Rasheeda, equally exhausted but fiercely protective of her family's reputation, confronted friends and associates, who had been sharing insider info. "Do you understand what this does to our lives?" she demanded, her eyes blazing. "You're not just spreading rumors. You're putting my family in danger. We trusted you." Jasmine, caught in the middle, faced her own turmoil. Private messages to friends were read aloud in online discussions, and the selective sharing of texts made it appear as though she was complicit in the alleged secret relationship. The weight of public judgment pressed down relentlessly. "I'm just trying to live my life," she whispered to a confidant, tears brimming in her eyes. "I don't understand how it got this far." Social media's frenzy intensified when a new leak emerged, a series of photos allegedly showing the three together at odd hours, in private settings. While the images were ambiguous at best, the captions and commentary online painted a far more scandalous picture. Fans dissected every frame, constructing entire narratives of betrayal, secret meetings, and emotional entanglement. Arguments between fans of different factions erupted across platforms, creating virtual battlegrounds. "It's obvious they're hiding something," one camp insisted, while another countered, "This is all fabricated. Don't fall for the hype." Meanwhile, the family itself was in disarray. Parents, siblings, and close relatives struggled to reconcile the public perception with the private reality. Every family gathering became tense, every phone call fraught with concern, as loved ones attempted to navigate the fallout. The drama even seeped into the workplace, with business associates and collaborators weighing in, adding fuel to the already blazing fire. In one particularly intense conversation between Rasheeda and Kirk, emotions reached a boiling point. "I can't believe this is happening," Rasheeda said, pacing the room, her voice thick with disbelief. We've worked so hard to keep our lives private, and now the world thinks we're living in some twisted love triangle. Kirk, equally agitated, slammed his hand against the table. I know, and it's not just about us anymore. Friends, family, fans, they're all getting pulled into this madness. How did one comment spiral into this? Jasmine, sitting silently, finally spoke, her voice shaking with emotion. I never asked for this. I never wanted to be in the middle. And now, it's like my life isn't even mine anymore. The intensity of these private confrontations mirrored the chaos online. Influencers, bloggers, and social media personalities dissected every word, gesture, and post, creating a cycle that seemed impossible to break. Every attempt at clarification by the trio was met with skepticism, criticism, and further speculation. To make matters worse, additional insider accounts began circulating, claiming to have knowledge of late-night phone calls, private meetings, and emotional conversations between the trio. While the authenticity of these accounts was questionable, the damage was already done. Fans speculated endlessly, turning every interaction into potential evidence of scandal. The emotional toll on Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine became increasingly apparent. Sleep-deprived and on edge, their interactions grew tense, and minor disagreements often escalated into major confrontations. Friends and family attempted to mediate, but the layers of mistrust and fear made resolution nearly impossible. We're walking on eggshells, one family member confided. Every move is scrutinized. Every word is twisted. It's exhausting. As the story continued to evolve, so too did the public's appetite for more. Reality TV enthusiasts and drama seekers clamored for updates, analyzing every minor incident, rewatching old episodes, and theorizing about hidden motives. The frenzy reached new heights when a video surfaced, allegedly showing Kirk and Jasmine in a private conversation, laughter shared in a moment interpreted by fans as intimate. The clip, ambiguous and brief, was dissected frame by frame, sparking new debates, theories, and conspiracy-laden speculation. In private moments, the trio grappled with the reality of being at the center of such intense scrutiny. Trust became a fragile commodity, emotions a volatile mixture of frustration, anger, and heartbreak. Rasheeda confronted Kirk one evening, after a particularly heated social media discussion. Do you realize what this does to us? Every fan thinks they know our lives better than we do. Every friend has an opinion. How do we even function under this pressure? Kirk sighed, rubbing his face, the weight of the public eye pressing down on him. I know, Ras, I know. But we can't control what people say. All we can do is stay honest with each other, and hope the truth shines through eventually. Jasmine, struggling with feelings of isolation and betrayal, found herself questioning not only the intentions of those around her but also the reality she thought she understood. I don't even know who to trust anymore, she admitted. Every conversation feels like it could be twisted, every message analyzed. I feel trapped. Amid the personal turmoil, fan speculation only intensified. New posts, tweets, and videos continued to circulate, each building upon the last, creating a narrative that seemed increasingly difficult to counter. Friends and associates tried to offer perspective, but even well-intentioned statements often fueled additional debate. In a particularly dramatic twist, an anonymous source claimed to have attended a private gathering where the trio was allegedly seen together late at night. The source described the scene in vivid detail, painting a picture of clandestine interactions and whispered conversations. Whether accurate or not, the account became a viral sensation, further inflaming the controversy. As the days wore on, the emotional stakes escalated. Arguments between the trio became more frequent, private interactions were strained, and every attempt at normalcy seemed to unravel under the relentless pressure of public attention. Friends and family struggled to offer support, caught between loyalty and the impossibility of shielding their loved ones from the public scrutiny. The narrative continued to twist and turn, with new leaks, supposed confessions, and ambiguous content emerging regularly. Each new revelation sparked waves of reaction, commentary, and speculation, keeping the story at the forefront of reality TV gossip. The family, once united, found themselves navigating a minefield of emotions, loyalties, and public perception. Trust became a delicate balance, every conversation carefully weighed, and every decision fraught with consequence. In these high-stakes moments, the emotional toll was undeniable. Tears were shed, voices raised, and relationships tested, all while the world watched, analyzed, and judged. And just when it seemed the drama might plateau, yet another twist emerged, promising to reignite the firestorm in ways that no one could have anticipated. The tension was palpable, the stakes higher than ever, and the saga of Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine showed no sign of slowing down. The intensity of the drama reached a fever pitch as new allegations surfaced, threatening to upend the already fragile relationships between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine. Every social media post became a battleground, every cryptic comment a potential spark for further speculation. Fans dissected every public appearance, every handshake, and every casual smile, as though searching for hidden meanings that would confirm Yandy's explosive claim. In private, the trio struggled to maintain composure. Kirk, usually brimming with confidence, found himself pacing late into the night, phone in hand, scrolling endlessly through fan theories and online debates. "It's insane how fast this has escalated," he admitted to a close friend. "One comment, one insinuation, and now our lives are being dissected in ways I never thought possible." Rasheeda, grappling with a mix of anger, humiliation, and disbelief, confronted the source of the claim directly during a heated phone call. "Yandy, how could you even suggest something like that?" she demanded, her voice trembling with emotion. "Do you realize what this does to my marriage? To my family?" The conversation, though private, was leaked in fragments online, fueling further speculation and outrage. Jasmine, meanwhile, was caught in a storm of her own making. Messages taken out of context painted her as a willing participant in the alleged relationship, leaving her scrambling to clarify her position to friends, family, and fans alike. "I've never been involved in anything like that," she said in one private message that quickly circulated. "I can't control what people are saying, but I swear, I am not part of this." The public, however, seemed uninterested in the nuances. Fans and online commentators dissected every detail, creating elaborate theories that combined real events, imagined conversations, and outright fabrications. Memes, reaction videos, and speculative posts flooded social media, each iteration more dramatic than the last. Family members were pulled into the chaos, often unwillingly. Siblings and parents who had once enjoyed private gatherings now walked on eggshells, fearful that any casual remark might be twisted into scandalous evidence. Tensions flared during private dinners, where every glance and word was interpreted as proof of hidden truths. In one particularly intense exchange, Rasheeda confronted Kirk about his interactions with Jasmine, emotions raw and unfiltered. "I trusted you, Kirk," she said, her voice breaking. "And now it feels like everything we've built is being questioned. How do you even respond to something like this without it destroying us?" Kirk, equally frustrated, tried to defend himself, but the constant barrage of public scrutiny made reason difficult. "Ras, I swear, nothing's going on," he insisted, voice tense. "But people love to twist stories. That's all. This is a story that's been blown out of proportion." Jasmine, caught between loyalty to Kirk and her own sense of self-preservation, struggled to maintain her composure. "I didn't ask for this," she admitted quietly to a friend. "I didn't want to be in the middle of anyone's drama, and now it feels like my life isn't even my own anymore." As the story continued to spiral, insider accounts began to emerge, claiming knowledge of late-night meetings, secret conversations, and emotional confrontations. Each new detail, true or fabricated, added layers of intrigue and tension, keeping fans and critics on edge. Arguments erupted not only between the trio, but also among their allies and associates. Friends who tried to mediate often found themselves pulled into the chaos, their intentions misinterpreted, their words twisted into evidence of conspiracy. In a particularly explosive moment, a video surfaced allegedly showing Kirk and Jasmine together in a private setting, laughter shared in a way that fans interpreted as intimate. The clip, though ambiguous and brief, fueled endless speculation and debate, reinforcing the narrative that Yandy had claimed. Meanwhile, Rasheeda found herself grappling with a profound sense of betrayal, not necessarily by the trio, but by the very environment around her. The media, fans, and even some friends seemed eager to assign blame, dissect motives, and construct a scandal where none may have existed. The pressure became almost unbearable. "I feel like we're being watched every second of every day," she confessed to a confidant. "Nothing we do is our own anymore. Everything is interpreted, analyzed, and turned into a headline." Kirk's frustration mirrored her own, though expressed in more outwardly combative ways. Social media attacks, invasive questions, and constant Speculation pushed him to confront those he felt were responsible. "This has gone too far," he told a friend, voice tight with anger. "People are twisting my life into a story that's not real. How do I even respond to that without making it worse?" Jasmine's struggle was quieter, internalized. She attempted to maintain normalcy in her personal and professional life, but the constant undercurrent of suspicion was exhausting. Friends noted her growing anxiety and exhaustion, worried about the long-term impact of the relentless scrutiny. Online, the frenzy showed no signs of slowing. Every new leak, rumor, or ambiguous photo became instant fodder for speculation. Influencers, bloggers, and social media personalities amplified the story, adding dramatic commentary and creating a narrative that was more fiction than fact. The trio's attempts to manage the situation were often misinterpreted, their denials and clarifications twisted into further evidence of guilt. Behind the scenes, the family dynamic strained under the pressure. Parents, siblings, and close friends found themselves navigating conversations that had once been casual, now charged with suspicion and tension. Trust became fragile, every word weighed, every interaction analyzed. In one private confrontation, Rasheeda and Kirk faced the cumulative weight of public scrutiny, the emotional toll evident in every gesture. "I don't know how much more of this we can take," Rasheeda admitted, tears welling in her eyes. "It's like our lives aren't even our own. Everything we do is public property." Kirk, voice tense with frustration, replied, "I know, Roz, but we have to stick together. We can't let this tear us apart. We have to weather it, no matter what people say or think." Jasmine, feeling increasingly isolated, reached out to a close friend for support. Her messages revealing the depth of her anxiety and fear. "I don't know how to survive this without losing myself," she admitted. "Every day feels like a test, every interaction, a trap." As the days turned into weeks, the narrative continued to evolve, each new development more dramatic than the last. Leaks, videos, and insider accounts created a continuous cycle of speculation, interpretation, and rumor, keeping the story at the forefront of public attention. The emotional stakes remained high, with trust, loyalty, and personal relationships under constant threat. The family, once a source of stability and support, now navigated a landscape of tension and suspicion, trying to maintain bonds while managing the relentless public scrutiny. Every attempt to clarify, every private conversation, was subject to public interpretation, often exacerbating the turmoil rather than alleviating it. Yet amid the chaos, moments of vulnerability and honesty emerged. Private conversations revealed genuine hurt, confusion, and frustration, exposing the human cost of living under the relentless microscope of public opinion. The trio's struggle became not just about managing rumors, but about preserving their sense of self, protecting relationships, and maintaining emotional resilience in the face of overwhelming pressure. As the storm raged on, it was clear that the narrative surrounding Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine was far from over. Every day brought new twists, new revelations, and new opportunities for drama, leaving fans, insiders, and the family themselves on edge. The tension was unrelenting, the stakes higher than ever, and the saga promised even more explosive developments in the days to come. The emotional roller coaster showed no signs of slowing, and the world watched, captivated, as the story continued to unfold in ways that were unpredictable, sensational, and utterly compelling. The whirlwind of speculation reached a fever pitch when a series of private messages allegedly between Kirk and Jasmine leaked online. While the authenticity of the messages was hotly debated, the way they were presented made it seem as though the trio's interactions went far beyond friendship. Fans immediately jumped to conclusions, sharing screenshots, dissecting wording, and constructing elaborate narratives. "Look at this," one viral post declared. "This is proof. Rasheeda has been kept in the dark." The comment sections exploded, with emotions running high on all sides. Kirk and Rasheeda faced increasing pressure to respond. Private discussions with family members became tense, as relatives struggled to balance loyalty with the fear of public judgment. "We need to get ahead of this," Kirk said during a late-night strategy session. "If we don't clarify, people will continue to assume the worst, and it will spiral completely out of control." Rasheeda, frustrated and emotionally drained, argued back, "Clarify what, Kirk? No matter what we say, they won't believe us." Yandy planted the seed, and now it's grown into this monster. Meanwhile, Jasmine found herself in the eye of the storm. Social media scrutiny, fans' theories, and the relentless questioning from those closest to her left her feeling isolated and misunderstood. Even casual interactions with friends were misinterpreted and shared online, amplifying the sense of betrayal she felt. "I can't even talk to anyone without it coming back to haunt me," she confided to a trusted confidant. "It's like living in a fishbowl where everyone's waiting for me to slip." As the days wore on, additional leaks and rumors continued to surface. Anonymous sources claimed sightings of the trio together in the dead of night, private dinners, supposedly hinting at more than friendship, and even cryptic texts interpreted as evidence of clandestine affairs. While the accuracy of these claims was questionable at best, they added layers to the scandal and kept public interest sky-high. Friends attempted to mediate, but their efforts often backfired. Every attempt to calm tensions or provide context was twisted into evidence of conspiracy or complicity. Even those with no intention of fueling the drama found themselves dragged into heated debates. In one particularly intense confrontation, Rasheeda faced Kirk and Jasmine together, emotions raw and unfiltered. "Do you understand what this does to all of us?" she demanded, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and despair. "It's not just our marriage. It's our families, our friends, our reputations. Everything is being destroyed." Kirk, equally frustrated, slammed his hand against the table. "I know, Roz, and it's driving me crazy. Every time we think it's settled, something new comes out. How do we even fight this?" Jasmine, feeling cornered, added her perspective. "I'm being dragged into a narrative I never wanted. I never asked for this, and I can't even defend myself without making it worse." The media frenzy continued to escalate, fueled by every leak and rumor. Bloggers, YouTubers, and social media personalities dissected the situation with dramatic flair, framing the story as a scandal of epic proportions. Every glance, every casual interaction, and every cryptic post was analyzed and interpreted as proof of the alleged secret relationship. Even longtime fans of love and hip-hop, Atlanta were drawn into the drama, debating endlessly over who was telling the truth, who was being honest, and who might be hiding something. The pressure on Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine became nearly unbearable. Late-night arguments, private confrontations, and emotional breakdowns became more frequent. Friends and family tried to offer support, but even well-intentioned advice was often met with skepticism or misinterpretation. "I feel like we're constantly being watched," Rasheeda admitted to a close friend, voice breaking. "Nothing we do is private anymore. Every word is scrutinized, every action questioned." Kirk, in private, expressed similar sentiments. "I can't believe how quickly one statement can spiral out of control. It's exhausting. We can't even breathe without someone interpreting it as drama." Jasmine, feeling increasingly isolated, sought comfort in close confidants. But the relentless scrutiny made even private conversations feel risky. "I don't know how much longer I can handle this," she confessed. "It's like every step I take is being judged, and I don't know how to make it stop." The story took another twist when a supposed confession video surfaced online, allegedly showing Kirk discussing the relationship in an intimate setting. The clip was brief, ambiguous, and carefully edited, but it sparked a frenzy among fans and commentators. Social media erupted with theories, accusations, and debates, each interpretation more sensational than the last. Family dynamics grew increasingly strained. Relatives who once provided stability found themselves walking on eggshells, careful to avoid any statement or gesture that might be misconstrued. Trust became a fragile commodity, and every interaction was measured against the backdrop of public scrutiny. In one private dinner, tensions boiled over. Rasheeda confronted Kirk about his perceived behavior, her voice thick with emotion. "I trusted you," she said, tears in her eyes. "And now it feels like everything we've built is in question. How do we even repair this?" Kirk, frustrated and exhausted, replied, "I know, Roz, I know. But we have to stay united. We can't let this destroy what we have. We have to weather it together." Jasmine, silently absorbing the tension, struggled to articulate her feelings. "I didn't ask for this," she whispered. "I never wanted to be in the middle, and now it feels like my life is being controlled by everyone else's assumptions." The saga continued to evolve, with new leaks, speculative posts, and alleged insider accounts surfacing daily. Each development added layers of complexity, keeping fans, friends, and family on edge. The emotional toll was undeniable. Sleep deprivation, heightened anxiety, and strained relationships became the norm for the trio as they navigated the relentless public attention. Friends and family did their best to offer support, but the unrelenting scrutiny made it nearly. Being dragged through the mud over a single baseless accusation left Jasmine overwhelmed, stuck between frustration and isolation. Every message she sent, every conversation she attempted, seemed to spiral beyond her control and into public speculation. "I feel trapped," she admitted quietly to a trusted confidant. "It's like I can't live without feeling judged for things I never even did." Social media amplified everything, pushing the drama at lightning speed. Viral posts, endless reaction videos, and fan-driven theories spread rapidly, each adding fuel to the fire. Influencers dissected clips with theatrical flair, framing the situation as a scandal of epic scale. Every rumor, every supposed leak, and every cryptic post was torn apart and debated, turning small personal interactions into massive public spectacles. In one heated confrontation, Rasheeda and Kirk finally felt the weight of the chaos. "I can't believe how far this has gotten," Rasheeda cried, her eyes filled with tears. "It started with a comment and now it's taken over our whole lives." Kirk, visibly tense, replied, "I know, Ras, but we need to stay strong. We can't let it tear us apart. No matter what, we face this together." Jasmine, silently observing, later admitted to a friend, "I never asked for any of this. My life feels hijacked by people's assumptions." Insider reports and anonymous whispers only escalated the frenzy. Alleged late-night sightings, suspicious texts, and overheard conversations, real or fake, kept fueling public curiosity. Even close friends and family clashed as tensions rose, their efforts to mediate twisted into narratives that supported one side or the other. The pressure strained bonds, leaving everyone emotionally drained. Then, a supposed confessional clip of Kirk leaked, sparking intense debate. Fans couldn't agree, was it genuine or fabricated? Each new theory kept the spotlight burning, ensuring the story stayed alive. Privately, Rasheeda pressed Kirk with frustration. "Do you realize what this is doing to us? To our family? To everything we've worked for?" Kirk, running his hands through his hair, sighed, "I know, but people will always speculate. All we can do is hold on and weather it." Meanwhile, Jasmine confided, "I don't know how to survive this without losing myself. Every move I make becomes a headline." The leaks never slowed. Fans dissected old photos, cryptic posts, and hidden clues, keeping the frenzy alive. Even family members who once offered support found themselves drowning in suspicion and miscommunication. In a rare private talk, Rasheeda, Kirk, and Jasmine faced the pressure together. "We need to talk," Rasheeda said with a trembling voice. "We can't let this consume us, our family. Our sanity matter too much." Kirk replied, "I know, but how do we fight something that's bigger than us? Every word, every glance, every action gets judged." Jasmine whispered, "I just want to live without being watched. I never asked for this life." Despite their efforts, speculation only grew louder. Anonymous sources, supposed leaks, and public debates kept the drama alive, stripping them of privacy and peace. As days passed, the scrutiny didn't ease. Social platforms and fan pages fed the storm, while private moments grew tense under the constant weight of judgment. The emotional toll was clear in every confrontation, every word, every silence. Friends tried to help, but the relentless spotlight left little space for calm, and just when it felt like things might quiet down, another twist emerged: a mysterious post, a leaked message, a shocking claim igniting everything again. The story of Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine was far from over. The tension grew, the stakes soared, and fans remained captivated, asking the same question: what's the truth behind Yandy's claim? Are we watching a hidden secret unravel, or just another dramatic turn in reality TV's chaotic world? That's where you come in. Your theories, your opinions, your insights. Who do you believe? What do you think really happened? Could more secrets remain untold? Or is it smoke and mirrors meant to hook us? Share your thoughts in the comments and let the debate unfold. And if you want to stay locked into every twist, every reveal, and every confrontation, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the drama. Your engagement drives this story forward, so add your voice, because in a saga this explosive, every perspective matters. And you won't want to miss what comes next.